Your plant has something on it right now that you haven't identified yet. Maybe it's been there for weeks. Maybe you've already tried something and it didn't work. Here's the part nobody tells you. The treatment almost everyone reaches for first is the exact wrong thing for most of these pests. Not because the product is bad, because they're treating the wrong stage, the wrong surface, or the wrong species entirely. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what's on your plant, why what you tried didn't work, and the one thing about each pest that changes everything. We'll start with the one that's hardest to see, and the most common. Your plant has been looking off for weeks. The leaves are losing colour across the surface, pale, washed out, almost dusty. You adjusted watering. You moved it to better light. Nothing changed. Hold a white piece of paper under a leaf and tap it hard. If what falls onto that paper starts moving, you've had spider mites for weeks. The dots on the leaf surface are individual cells that have been punctured and drained. By the time the damage is visible from a normal viewing distance, the colony is already in the hundreds. Here's why the bug spray under your sink won't work. Spider mites are arachnids, the same family as spiders and ticks. Standard insecticides have zero effect on them. People treat, see no improvement, treat again, and lose the plant while thinking they did everything right. Neem oil or insecticidal soap applied specifically to the undersides of every leaf, every 3 to 5 days for 3 full weeks. Not once. 3 weeks because the egg cycle runs 7 days and one missed generation rebuilds the colony. Increase humidity at the same time. Above 70%, they can't reproduce effectively. Fungus, gnats. There are small flies hovering around your soil and you've been trying to kill them for 2 weeks. They keep coming back because you've been targeting the wrong stage. The adults don't damage your plant. The larvae living in the top 2 inches of your moist potting soil are the problem, feeding on root hairs right now while you're swatting at flies. A single female lays up to 200 eggs in damp organic matter. While you're killing 1 generation of adults, 2 more are developing in the soil beneath your hand. Let the top 2 inches dry out completely between waterings. That removes the breeding environment without any product. For larvae already present, 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 4 parts water poured through the soil kills them on contact. For persistent infestations, Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis, sold as mosquito bits, makes the soil lethal to larvae specifically without affecting anything else. Mealybugs. There's white fluff in the joints where your leaves meet the stem. You sprayed it with insecticide, it's still there. It's going to keep being there because that waxy coating is armor. Contact pesticides hit the wax and run off. The insect underneath is untouched. This is why mealybug infestations run for months while people treat repeatedly and see nothing change. The wax has to be dissolved first. Isopropyl alcohol at 70% does that on contact. Dip a cotton swab, touch it directly to each bug, the coating breaks down immediately. For larger infestations, 1 part alcohol to 1 part water sprayed across the entire plant. Then check the roots. Mealybugs move underground, and root infestations look identical to overwatering symptoms. If the foliage keeps reinfesting after treatment, pull the plant out. White waxy clusters on the root system means remove all old soil. Wash the roots. Repot into fresh, sterile mix. Old soil goes in the bin. The scale insects. You've had brown bumps on your plant stems for months and assumed it was bark texture or dried sap. It wasn't. Scale insects don't move at the adult stage and don't look like anything alive. That's how they survive undetected for entire seasons while feeding on sap below the surface. The treatment everyone tries first is insecticide spray. It doesn't work. Armored scale produces a hard shell physically separate from the insect's body, and no contact pesticide penetrates it. Dead shells also stay attached after treatment, so people think the infestation is still active when they've actually made progress. You have to scrape first, a soft toothbrush along every stem, removing adults manually before anything else. This exposes the crawlers, juvenile scale without shells yet, which are genuinely vulnerable. Apply isopropyl alcohol or horticultural oil to the cleared surface. Inspect weekly for 6 to 8 weeks. Eggs hatch in batches and each batch needs to be caught before shells form. Everything covered so far has been findable. You could look at the plant, spot the pest, and start treatment. Spider mites on the paper, fungus gnat larvae in the soil, white fluff in the joints, brown bumps on the stem, visible, treatable. The next pest is none of those things. It lives below the soil surface, leaves no visible trace above ground, and gets misdiagnosed as overwatering or root rot almost every single time. Most people throw the plant away without ever knowing what actually killed it. Then they put a new plant in the same pot. Root mealybugs. Your plant has been declining for months with no obvious cause. Soil moisture looks right. Light looks right. You've adjusted both and nothing has responded. The roots are being eaten. Root mealybugs live entirely underground, look identical to foliage mealybugs, and feed exclusively on root tissue. The only symptom above soil is the decline itself, which looks exactly like overwatering, underwatering, or nutrient deficiency. Every wrong diagnosis leads to a treatment that does nothing while root damage compounds. You'll only find them when you pull the plant out. White, waxy clusters on the root system. Remove every trace of old soil under running water, cut off damaged roots, soak the bare root system in diluted neem oil solution for 15 minutes. Repot into completely fresh, sterile mix in a clean pot. Old soil does not go into compost. The eggs survive and infect the next plant. Thrips. Your large-leafed plants have developed a silver or bronze sheen across the leaf surface with small dark specks through it. You thought it was hard water deposits or sun damage and treated for those. The sheen spread. Thrips scrape through the surface layer of leaf cells and drink the contents. Each silver patch is a cluster of emptied cells. Here's why treating foliage alone always fails. Part of the thrips life cycle happens in the soil. Larvae drop from the plant, pupae in the potting mix emerge as adults. Spray the leaves and ignore the soil, and the next generation outruns you every time. Spinosad, neem oil or insecticidal soap on the foliage every 5 to 7 days. Treat the soil surface every single time. Remove heavily damaged leaves before the first treatment and bag them before they leave the room. Thrips fly and will spread across your collection within hours. 4 weeks minimum. Anything shorter and the soil cycle wins. Aphids. New growth is curling and coming in distorted. You can see soft-bodied insects clustered at the growing tips. You sprayed yesterday. They're back today. One aphid produces 80 offspring in a week. All of those offspring reach reproductive maturity within 7 days. Females reproduce without mating. You kill the adults present at spraying. The nymphs that were too small to hit effectively became reproductive adults overnight. Knock the visible population off with a strong spray of water first. Aphids can't climb back up once dislodged. Follow immediately with insecticidal soap or neem oil every 3 to 5 days for 2 full weeks without gaps. Check your fertilizer. High nitrogen feeding produces the soft new growth aphids target first. If you've been feeding heavily, cut the nitrogen until it's gone. Whiteflies. You touched your plant and a cloud of white insects lifted off. You sprayed thoroughly. 2 weeks later, same cloud. The adults you're spraying are the mobile reproductive stage. The damage is done by nymphs attached to leaf undersides covered in waxy secretion, feeding continuously without moving. Killing adults reduces egg laying temporarily, while the attached nymphs keep maturing into new adults. The second problem, whiteflies develop pesticide resistance faster than almost any common houseplant pest. Using the same product repeatedly selects for resistant individuals and makes each treatment less effective than the last. Rotate between insecticidal soap, neem oil, and pyrethrin every 5 to 7 days, targeting leaf undersides specifically. For severe infestations, a systemic insecticide as a soil drench moves through the plant's vascular system and reaches nymphs through the sap they're feeding on. 8 pests. 8 different ways your plant can fail, but almost all of them come down to the same conditions you're creating without knowing it. Overwatered soil invites fungus gnats and root rot. Dry air invites spider mites. Dusty leaves invite early colonies. New plants from the shop bring passengers you can't see yet. Quarantine everything new for 2 to 4 weeks. Check leaf undersides every time you water. Let soil dry between waterings. Keep humidity above 60%. Wipe leaves every few weeks. And when you see something, act the same day. Every pest in this video is manageable early. Every single one becomes a different problem once the plant is weakened and the numbers are large. If any of this helped, if you finally know what's been on your plant for weeks or why 3 rounds of treatment did nothing, that's exactly what this channel is for. Not general plant tips, the actual mechanism behind why things go wrong and what specifically fixes it. Every video, same format. If that's useful to you, you know where the button is.